What's up YouTube, what's good everybody, welcome back to another video. So guys, on today's video I'm going to show you guys how to make an Afrobeat melody without using any plugin. And before I get into today's video guys, I'm going to be showing you guys two things. The first thing is I'm going to be showing you guys of course how to make an Afrobeat melody without using any plugin. So the second thing that I'm going to be showing you guys today is how to tweak your one shots to make them sound absolutely fire. And then before I get into today's video guys, if you haven't already, make sure to like this video and make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel, and also hit down the notification bell so you get notified whenever I drop a new video. So guys, I'm also going to be dropping the link to my one shot kit, which is Rhapsody one shot kit, and that's the kit that I'm going to be using for this video. To go grab a copy of the kit. The link is going to be down in the description, so make sure to go check it out. Without too much of your time, let's go to today's video. Hey, so yeah guys, just as usual, this is what the melody sounds like without the drums. So guys, like I said before, I'm not going to be using any plugin for this particular loop, and these are all the sounds that I use. These are all one shot sound, and I got them from my Rhapsody one shot kit volume 1. I'm going to be leaving the link to this one shot kit in the description. Make sure to go grab a copy. So it has a lot of amazing sounds, and I'm also going to show you guys how to tweak your one shots to make them sound really fire. So the first thing that I added is this rods one shot sound from the key section, and I use the subtle rods, and then this is what it sounds like without the effects. So guys, I'm going to be deleting this, and then I'm going to be making something similar from scratch just to show you guys how I came up with this. So I'm going to select everything, and then I'm going to delete it. Go to this drop down menu right here, go to my helpers, go to scale highlighting, and then for my root note I actually selected G, and then for the scale I use the minor natural alien scale. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing is to lay down the bass notes, stretch this out, and then I'm just going to make chords. Make this a 7th, also. Do the same thing for this. Just like that, I just got my chords. Once I'm done with my chords, I'm going to bring it down an octave, and then I'm going to select every single thing except the bass notes. So select like this, and then I'm going to take this all up by holding Control and the up arrow key. So once I've done that, this is what everything sounds like. And then once you're done, you can just hold Alt R to randomize velocity, click accept. So the last thing I did is just hold Ctrl B to just paste everything over. So that's how easy it is for me to just make chords. This is exactly how I came up with chords, although mine was a little bit complex because I spent a lot of time tweaking it and then changing up the notes. But for this, I'm just trying to show you guys how I came up with the chords, just to give you guys a general knowledge. So before I get to the effect, like I said before, I'm going to show you guys how to make your one shot sound a lot more better than it already does. So there are two things that I'm going to be showing you guys. So the first thing is to go to the pre-computed effects, and then as you guys can see, we have the EQ, RM mix, RM frequency, the reverb knob, and then we also have the stereo delay. You can actually mess around with any knob right here. So the only thing that I did, I actually took up the stereo delay to like 14-15%. I took up the RM mix to like 11%. You can mess around with EQ, mess around with this knob right here. You can also mess around with the RM frequency, and then once you're done with the pre-computed effects, you can go to this envelope section and then mess around with the LFO. You can select any waveform you want. So I just took the attack to like 30%, and then I took the amount all the way down like this. So this is just going to give it a lot more movement. That's basically the two things that I want you guys to do. So once you've done this, it's going to make your one shot sound way better. It's going to make it sound like you've added a bunch of effects while you've not even added any effects. So make sure to go grab my one shot kit and use this simple hack that I've shown you. So you guys, moving on to the effect, the first thing that I did, I added the fruity parameter EQ, cut out the low because this had some some low end and I didn't want it to clash with the bass. and then I added one more fruity parameter EQ. I wanted this to be like more ambient. I wanted it to just be, you know, just chill. I also added Valhalla vintage verb. This is a reverb plugin, and I set it to 44% because I wanted a lot of reverb. And then the last thing I did is add RC20. For the RC20, I used the Vanyo 3 preset, but then I turn off the noise, and then I actually increase the space, and I increase the wobble, and then I put it on stereo. And I also did some more high cuts over here. And then after I did everything, I'm going to turn on the effect, and then I'm going to play what everything sounds like with the effect. So yeah guys, moving on, I also added this piano one shot still from my one shot kit. This is called Gravity. I got it from the key section, and this is what it sounds like without the effects. So you guys, this is the same chord progression. I just copied it over, and then for the effect, I actually added the fruity parameters EQ, just like I did for the first one. I actually just cut out the highs, and then I cut out the lows, just to have the mid frequencies. And then I also added this reverb plugin. It's called Valhalla vintage verb, and I still set it to 44%. And then the last thing I did is to add RC20, and for RC20 I used Vanyo 2 preset this time, and then I still turn off the noise, and everything is still back on, and with some more EQ down here. And then I also turn on the digital because I wanted this to be more retro sounding, and with the effect, this is what everything sounds like. And also for this sound, I still did the same thing. I went to the pre-computed effect. For this, I actually took up the RM mix just a little, and then for the stereo delay, I took it all way up to like 78%. Envelope section, I actually took up the attack to 31%, and then for the amount, I actually just let it go at 70. Then moving on, I added a pad one shot still from my one shot kit. This is called Figure, and then this is what it sounds like without any effects. So guys, this is the same thing as the first two chord progression, but the only difference is this last two notes. They were actually up, but then I took them down an octave just to, you know, change up the vibe, because this is a different sound. And then for the effect, I added the fruity parameter EQ, cut out the low ends and cut out some of the highs, and I also added Valhalla vintage verb, and I set the mix to 56%. And then the last thing I did is to use RC20, and I used the retired amp preset, which is this right here. Then I actually didn't want too much of this, so I brought down the magnitude to like 60, 61, 62%. Then this is what everything sounds like with the effects. And then moving on, I added the bass one shot, which is called Bounce. And then the only thing I did for this is go to the envelope section, and then increase the hold, bring the attack down, the decay and sustain and release all down. For everything, this is just going to give you more control of the sound. If you don't know what that means, if I should turn this off and I click a note, without this on, the notes are actually going to have a long tail, and it's going to be muddy when you start playing multiple notes. But if I should turn this on, so with this on, it's going to allow me control how long I want the tail to be. So basically, do this with all your one shot bass. This is what it sounds like. And for the effects, I use this plugin called Decapitator, and I use this beefy preset right here in the bass. And also moving on, I added a synth one shot from my kit. I went to the pre-computed effect, added some reverb, added the stereo, increase the stereo delay, and then basically this is what it sounds like without the effect. And then moving on to the effect, I've basically added the fruity parameter EQ, cut out the highs, cut out the lows, and then I also added the fruity reverb 2 with the venue preset, which is this right here, and then I brought down the wet to like 60%. And then I also added RC20, and I used the cassette generation later preset, and I also did some more EQ down here. The last thing I did is to add a wider, and I set it to 40%. So this is what everything sounds like with the effect. Guys, the last one shot I added is the plug sound called Profit. This is what it sounds like without any effect. So guys, I know this sounds really simple, but then just wait till I show you guys the effects that I added. So the first thing that I added is the fruity parameter EQ. Just like the others, I just cut out the highs, cut out the lows, just to keep those mid frequencies. I also added this plugin called Looparator. I just left the default presets. The last thing I did is add the wider, and then I set it to 42%, and then this is what everything sounds like with the effects. And then the last thing I did for this loop is to add a vocal chop, and then this is what it sounds like without the effect. For the effect, I added the fruity parameter EQ, and I cut out the lows and cut out the highs, and I actually brought down the volume. And then the next thing I did is add a Valhalla vintage verb, and then this is what everything sounds like with the effects on. So guys, once I was done, I just dragged everything and then rendered everything out as an audio file, and then I added a drum loop just to get a general idea of what this would sound like with some drums, and then this is what everything sounds like. So guys, I hope you guys learned a thing or two, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching this video. If you did, make sure to go down there and like this video, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, because you guys be watching my videos and not subscribing. So make sure to subscribe, and also turn on the post notification so you stay notified whenever I drop a new video. So guys, I'm also going to be leaving the link, like I said before, to my one-shot kit which I use for this melody. I'm going to be leaving it down in the description, so make sure to go check it out, and catch you guys in the next video. I'm out here. Peace.